just 3 days after Christmas. A Crosby County family says it was an unimaginable way to end the year. An unarmed man shot on his mother's front porch after a chase and then a fight involving a sheriff's deputy. KLBK's McKenna Earnhardt explains to us what exactly happened and what that young man's sister is asking for tonight. McKenna?
Jasmine Peoples says the family knew her brother Michael Phillips Jr. as just Mikey and tells us that the 27-year-old was a father to 3 girls. Jasmine says Mikey loved cotton farming, basketball, and was deep in his faith. She tells us that she never knew her brother to be a big troublemaker, and that's why the family just wants to know why things escalated so quickly.
He was a big baby, very goofy kid. He was a dad. He had little girls. He loved his kids. He loved his family.
That family is now starting off the new year without someone who was a big part of it.
I walk up to my mom's door. I see a bunch of police officers there, and at her porch is just blood splattered everywhere, just screaming. It was just a very gruesome thing to see.
Jasmine Peoples says it's a sight she'll never forget after getting a call that her brother, 27-year-old Michael Phillips Jr., had been shot by a Crosby County Sheriff's deputy.
At the hospital, he ended up staying there from the 28th until January 2nd, and the 2nd is when he took his last breath.
The sheriff's office says when their deputy tried to pull over Mikey and Lorenzo, he didn't stop and led the deputy on a chase that ended at his mother's house. The sheriff's office says the deputy tased Phillips twice to get him to stop resisting arrest. And at some point, the sheriff's office claims that a passenger who was riding with Phillips started physically assaulting that deputy. This escalated into a fight between all 3 of them, with a gun then being fired by the deputy at Phillips.
How the situation escalated to where our brother gets shot in the head in front of his mom's house, we don't know.
Jasmine says one of the most ironic parts of it all is that her brother typically did all he could to stay away from jail.
If anything, he was afraid of the cops. He will always say, you know, anything that he can do to try to avoid getting in trouble. He wasn't one like that.
The only thing she can think of as to why her brother didn't stop is that he wanted to get to a place that he thought was much safer than the side of the road.
He's always been a person that I feel safe at my mom's house. I feel safe at home. We want to get his name out there for sure, and to let people know he wasn't this criminal.
One thing that Jasmine and the family say they are hopeful about are the actions taken by new Crosby County Sheriff Corey Nunley since the tragic shooting.
He talked to us and gave us as much information as he could, and he was very sincere. I do think Corey Nunley will make a change in Crosby County and that whole police department. I really do.
We're told that deputy has now been placed on administrative leave as the Texas Rangers investigate the shooting. Jasmine tells us an autopsy will need to be done before they can lay her brother to rest. Mikey would have turned 28 on the 30th of this month.